Hello, everyone. Coming up here on the Pro Wrestling Show, present the NXT Battleground Review. As you see right here, Trick Williams is now the new TNA Champion. We're going to get to it coming up. Whoop that trick. Trick Williams finally has done it. He's the new TNA Champ. And Trick Williams played dividends tonight on the top of the hour. We'll get to it coming up. Trick Willie, now the new NXT champ. We'll get to it coming up here right now. Where the Pro Wrestling Show. Pro Wrestling Show starts right here, right now. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. The conversation using it. Forget to subscribe. Subscribe is here. Tell a friend, call a friend, hit that subscribe button so you won't miss a thing here. We'll get to Trick Williams coming up a little bit later on in the show. But let's not waste no time whatsoever here on the Battleground Review. We kick things off with this. Kiani Jordan challenging Solar Rosa for the NXT Women's North American Championship. The Women's North American title on the line. Solar Roca retained her championship. Or could Kiani Jordan keep hers intact? We'll talk about it. All right, let's get to this right here. Solar Roca comes out there, and Solar Roca, if we can show a picture of Solar Roca right quick, what Solar Roca did tonight. Solar Roca coming in with her crew. Look at Solar Roca coming in with Zarya. Solar Roca coming in with Zarya in tow. Zarya keeping Solar Roca busy. And Zarya making sure that Solar Roca wins, so the retains her NXT Women's North American Championship. Until Kiani Jordan came out there. Her interest. Kiani looking new, looking brand new right here. You can tell right here, Kiani with her new look. Kiani getting herself settled and ready to go. Kiani Jordan settling in and stuff. It was a hard Jordan up a fight to regain the NXT North American Championship. It just wasn't enough. And Solar Roca retained her championship. Solar Roca did so tonight. Solar Roca doing so by winning the NXT Women's to retain her NXT Women's Championship as she did. Solar Roca has big stuff, big plans ahead of her. She did tonight, doing what she needed to do. She got it done in the way Solar Roca did. So congratulations in order for Solar Roca retaining the NXT Women's North American Championship. All we have to wait for now is when Zarya is going to pull that trigger and do some damage to Solar Roca. And we'll see if Solar Roca and Zarya will indeed fight one day, one way. We also look at this, the huge 6-man tag team match right here between Hank teaming up with Jason Bridge to take on Sean Spears and his ministry. That's why I call him Sean Spears in the ministry of darkness and stuff. Sean Spears and his new ministry coming out there, and Sean Spears making it look so along with his ministry, kind of playing dividends tonight and playing dividends on what they had to do tonight. You can tell right here, Sean Spears, Hank and Tank, they got attacked and came out of nowhere. Was that Hagana, man, I'll say that right quick. He came out there, he made some progress tonight on what went down and stuff. So the Hagana man did try to help, and he helped all right. He helped no easier than that. However, that went down and stuff between them and stuff. So we saw how everything came around and came about tonight. In the end, we saw how it was. Hanging Tank along with Jason Bridge wins tonight. And a good battle that was tonight. A good showing, a good effort and stuff for him. So, well, a lot of TNA faces coming into NXT. We see that Mike Santana making his way to NXT. Mike Santana coming in. He's gonna be chasing this dude right here on your right that kind of looks similar to Roman Reigns. This dude right here, he's gonna take on Mike Santana this Tuesday night on CW on NXT. So looking forward to seeing that match as well. Mike Santana looking to make a splash as well. That he's here to see vested interest in the TNA Championship match between Trick Williams and Joe Henry. We'll let you know what went down with that tonight as well. Another match that everyone was buzzing about was this match. This Tony D'Angelo taking on Stacks. This is how whole thing I told you though on the Predict the Outcome special that Tony D'Angelo and Stacks had their issues, and now it comes to a head. D'Angelo and Stacks tonight on what went down, and it went down tonight as it did. We saw that Tony D came out there, and Tony D'Angelo looking for some measure of revenge. Stacks came out there looking as Stacks can be. He kind of was that Stacks crazy, and he stacked eventually and stuff on Stacks and stuff. So Tony D'Angelo, Stacks came out there on what went down tonight and how everything did and stuff with Stacks. Stacks came out there to get some revenge on Tony D'Angelo. Stacks did pin Tony D'Angelo right here, as you see right here. But now we saw that Stacks had some help, the vested interest in help indeed. As you can tell right here what Stacks was doing. Tony D'Angelo had this match won until we don't know what this dude with his issue is. A lot of change issues are going on and going about tonight, even to the point right here that D'Angelo and the other dude having the issue and stuff. Trying to figure out how this is going to all play out between them, but Tony D'Angelo having more problems in his family than never before. And I think Tony D'Angelo is trying to figure out what's next because he's looking at like everybody back against me. I'm not getting over the way I normally would get over. We saw how all that going to play out, play around and stuff with Tony D'Angelo and Stacks. So a lot of stuff going on tonight for Tony D'Angelo Stacks. Hopefully Tony D'Angelo will get the family back together because everybody amongst the family is trying to go their separate ways. But like we said, we're going to see how all this is going to play out. You see Tony D'Angelo get the win, Stacks get the win, and a lot of issues going on between them. So hopefully they can work that out, and we'll see if everything be played out eventually. Because I know I hate to see that bound to happen, but you never know on how everything is going between Tony D'Angelo, Stacks, and that other dude. So we'll see. And don't forget, we'll have the coming up either tonight or probably tomorrow morning. Look for that coming your way. Look forward to tomorrow morning when it drops. We'll get to that in a minute. We get to another match that everybody was talking about tonight, right here. The NXT title was online. Oba Femi going against Miles Bourne. Miles Bourne getting his first opportunity at the championship. Miles Bourne was not going to hesitate. Miles Bourne won this opportunity. Miles Bourne was getting it, but Charlie, what's his name? He sounded a little bit jealous tonight. He didn't want Orton to get the opportunity, which Orton deserves to get the opportunity. But Miles Bourne really didn't have a shot. He put up his effort. But Oba Fimby wins tonight. Oba Fimby retains. Oba Fimby with the belt in hand, the belt in grasp. Oba Fimby keeps the belt. And Oba Fimby is going to be there, a fighting champion. He was a fighting champion. Oba Fimby continues his might as he continues on going. Well, we get to the NXT Women's Championship match. The Women's Championship, if we can show it right quick. The women's title was on the line as Stephanie Vicure defending the Women's Championship against the Juggernaut, number one contender, Jordan Grace. Jordan Grace getting a shot against Stephanie's title. And Stephanie Vicure retained her championship. And Stephanie Vicure did retain her title. Stephanie Vicure retained her women's championship. Stephanie Vicure keeps her momentum as NXT Women's Champion going. But Jordan Grace kept stalking Booker T throughout the whole entire match when Stephanie was doing the devil's kiss. Stephanie likes to do that maneuver. Jordan Grace right here should have stayed focused rather about Booker T. What's going on with Booker T and what Booker T likes in a woman's behind, the backside of a woman. That's Booker T's business and his wife's business. And his wife like it, we love it. Booker T, what went down, we saw tonight, as it did. I told you earlier, Oba Fimby retained the NXT Championship. Miles Bourne a little bit detached, like he lost, but Miles Bourne shouldn't have nothing to be afraid of, nothing to be ashamed of. He put up a good fight. It just wasn't the fight of his life tonight. Miles Bourne should never be ashamed. He should always be proud of what went down. So congratulations to Oba Fimby and Stephanie Vicure. Stephanie and Oba retained their respective championships tonight, their respective titles tonight. They did. Well, it was a little bit out of the blue, but it happened. The TNA Championship was on the line as Joe Henry defended the TNA title against Trick Williams. Trick Williams, the number one contender for the TNA Championship. Will Trick Williams take the title to NXT and leave TNA without a world champion? Or Joe Henry was going to make sure that Trick Williams was not going to make sure and leave the crowd with momentum? Well, we saw tonight Joe Henry was trying his darndest to make sure he keep that championship intact. Well, the TNA title right here raised up. I like the TNA title from the old pad, like near 10 years ago. But here nor there, Joe Henry and Trick Williams duked it out for the TNA championship. And what a championship it was, a championship match. Joe Henry with power moves, Trick Williams with power moves. Joe Henry Trick Williams tried to bring in the TNA championship into the ring. Joe Henry got caught in between the TNA championship and got blocked. And Trick Williams used his kick, his running knee strike, and won the TNA championship. And now, whoop that Trick, whoop that Williams is now officially a world champion. Trick Williams has done it. Trick Williams has won the TNA championship. What does this mean? Trick Williams will be on NXT this week. We will find out and see Trick Williams now the new holder, the current title holder of the TNA championship. Lost his number, his shot once again. Trick Williams, but Trick Williams showed he's here. Trick Williams, and he retained, won the TNA championship that Trick Williams said he was going to do. Williams TNA Championship. Yeah, over here. Trick Williams hold the TNA. What will Trick Williams do next? Only time will tell. We'll see. Trick Willie now, the holder of the TNA Championship. He done it all. Trick Williams, the two-time NXT champion, and now Trick Williams holds the TNA Championship. I'll whoop that trick. Trick Williams has done it. He's the new TNA World Champion. Trick Williams, look, the problem TNA champion. Trick Williams got that on his mantle. Good for Trick Williams. Trick Williams with the opportunity of a lifetime winning the TNA championship. So congratulations to my boy Trick Williams once again in the TNA championship. All right. We're gonna end the NXT Battleground review. We're gonna move over right quick to wrestling hot topics. On wrestling hot topics, we want to talk about this. Happy birthday to Roman Reigns. Champion. He turned years old. So had attack they're gonna have something going on. They're gonna have to do this in 2 weeks and so these what's going on and stuff like that. So we'll see how that's gonna be coming up. Roman Reigns. Well, okay, there it goes. And taking from the laughing situation. So in the report, not the report this Tuesday. So a lot of changes in the scenario that we see now. Trick Williams holds the goal once again. He does it in an organization, and it's Williams now in the world championship. Trick once again, Williams right here, show him right quick. Trick Willie. Trick Willie holding the goal. Trick Willie doing the thing. Saying that right now. Trick Williams holding up the goal. Before we go right here, there's Trick Williams right here holding the goal as the new TNA champion. Thanks for watching this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. Your host, Dix. And so we'll see you. I'll see you for the nothing. Bring more again. See you later.